Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to continue our build of the Back to the Future Delorean. This is going to be issue 5. And today we are working on the left front suspension and brake assembly. So this one might end up getting a little complicated, but we'll see. Here's the step-by-step instructions that we're going to be following in this episode. Here's what the finished product should look like, if we're lucky. And then a couple more articles regarding the Back to the Future movies and everybody who's behind them. That's going to be an article on Leah Thompson. And some more concept work on the DeLorean. And then an article on Crispin Glover, who played a fantastic George McFly in my opinion. And an article on the flux capacitor. And then what we're going to be doing next issue, which is basically the exact same thing, although it'll be the right front suspension. So, without further ado, let's dig in. So we're going to need... Oh, I got my tweezers again. Again, these do not come with the kit, but due to my difficulties that I've been having with the itty-bitty little screws and stuff, I always have these on hand when I'm working on this thing. So, let's get going. Okay, so it looks like our first piece is going to be this thing. And this thing, the looks of it. And those are going to be screwed together with 2 AM screws. Looks like we got a lot of screws here. What's new? So here's my AMs. Here's the screwdriver that I got with issue 1. If you look closely here, it's got a hinge right here, which means these might need to move a little bit, so I'm not going to screw them in super duper tight in case I need to move them later. Okay, it feels like it's in there, so I'll go ahead and get the other one in. Okay, I think that's as tight as I want to make those for right now, because I'm getting the feeling I might need to relocate them later. So, there's step 1. Step 2, pass part 5D up through the hole in 5B as shown, and secure with 2 BM screws. Here's my BM screws, and here's the piece it's referring to. And that's going to go right like that. Well, this is interesting. One screw is supposed to go here. One screw is supposed to go here. However, this hole for this screw over here has been sealed. That could lead to some major issues. I get the feeling we're going to be dealing with a lot of issues like that during this build. I'm a member of a group on Facebook called the Delorean Build, where basically everybody on that Facebook page is building this thing, and a lot of them are from the UK, because this was released in the UK like 3 years ago or something like that. So there's a bunch of people on that page that have already like dove headlong into this thing, and they're like making customizations on it and all sorts of crazy stuff. So generally when I'm done with these videos, I post stuff on there looking for help. And this one may be no exception. Oh, there we go. It did go through. So now that the hole is there like it should have been, go ahead and take that screw back out. Okay, there we go. Now we got our hole. Now we can put this thing in. And hopefully get it screwed in place. Again, we're going to leave these screws loose, because I get the feeling we're going to need to be moving this around quite a bit. Okay, it appears to be in place. Again, I've left these screws loose, because I get the feeling we're going to need to. So, there's step 2. Step 3 is put the spring on. It'll be this big spring right here. And then we're going to screw it down over the top. And this is where the suspension is going to come in. And we're going to use an EM screw for that. So here's an EM screw. course it's not going in. Okay, this one I am going to screw down pretty tight because of the spring. If I got to loosen it, well, then so be it. But I did manage to get it in there, so this is what we got so far. Alright, step 5 is going to be this piece here. And it looks like it needs to go like this. And then through. That's going to be with 2 CM screws. One, 2. Again, I'm probably going to leave these a little bit loose for right now. Just enough to hold it in place. Okay, I think it's on there. Okay, it is most definitely on there. Okay, next step. Looks like we're going to be using this weird looking doohickey. It looks like it goes in. Based on the diagram anyway. Corresponding puzzle parts and DM screws. Okay, so there's a little hole right here in this piece. It's going to go in this hole right here. And the top is going to screw in through there. So it should look something like that when it's done, assuming that I'm doing this correctly, which hopefully I am. And those are going to go in with these screws here. Really sure that I put this on correctly because I don't want to have to do this again. It seems like every screw in this thing is fighting me. Okay, well, it's kind of on there. Push it down a little bit. Screw it a little bit tighter. Okay, there we go. good. And hopefully I can get the other one lined up here at the bottom. Okay, well, I was able to get both sides in there. So we'll set that aside for right now. Now it looks like we're going to be looking at the front brake. Oh, okay, that's a very blown up version of this itty bitty little thing right here. So we got this and a spring, which is also microscopic. You're going to put the spring on like that. Looks like the spring might be a little bit warped. Hopefully that won't come back and bite us later. Assuming that it even stays on there. So I'll set that there. We've got this piece. Okay, let's see. So there's the diagram. I'm guessing this is our spring right here. Yeah. So we're going to need a DP screw. Got this little piece. It should go in here. And put the screw in the back. Get this one as snug as I can because the only thing holding it in place is my finger. So, there we go. I'm assuming this is the way it's supposed to work when it's done. Hopefully I actually put that in correctly, but according to the diagram, it should be okay. So, what's next? We've got one more piece over here. It looks like it's going to... We've got three little holes here. And it looks like it's going to snap in here like that. And then we're going to have one screw that goes in right there. And that screw is going to be an AP screw. There we go. Back. And I am going to make sure this one's nice and tight because I don't think this one's going anywhere. Here's that. Here's the diagram, so it looks like we are definitely on the right track. Okay, now this needs to go on to the other piece that we already made. This is where it's going to get fun. So it looks like that's going to go on. Probably right there. Oh, it's got a magnet in it. Okay. There's actually a magnet right here. And a magnet right here. So it just snaps in. And all we got to do is put a screw through the bottom here. So that's kind of handy. It's going to be a DM screw. Finally, something actually went right with this build. I thought that was going to be the hardest part. Now it actually says to make sure you don't over-tighten this one so that the thing can move out. I have a hunch that the wheel is going to go on here, and this is going to fold down if you want to create the Back to the Future 2 look. It's all guesswork on my part. I'll get that screw in there. Let's get it snug. And there you go. I need to make it a little bit more snug than that. And it needs to stop right there.